아이고, 안녕하세요. 자, 출입게임 지금 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 아, 리바이어던 리버사이드. 근데 뭔가 주사를 넣는데 이거 어떻게 피하는 건지 모르겠어요. 그러니까 아예 방법을 모르겠어. 방법을 좀 알려줘라. 누가 좀 와서 진짜 좀. 아, 뭐야, 아이템을 찾고 죽는 것도 있어요? 근데 그게 얻어지나? 아, 방법을 모르겠어. 방법 알면 뭐 내가 하긴 하겠는데. 찰킨 호킨스? 완전 크툴루네. 마리 콜든 이 여자군요. 의사. 이분은 고인 화가시지만 조직 두목이시고 지금. 야, 네, 죽은 줄 알았던 사람이 괴물로 변했죠.
A duct. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
아이씨.
Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy, and a full shelf on cephalopods.
이 자식 잡아가지고 씨. 놀랐네.
It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock. It's locked.
He'll find me. He can see me.
Let's calm down, please. Pain is just information, dear Francis. Invaluable information for my research.
Kill me. Kill me.
What?
If you don't kill me, he will.
My poor friend, I fear your mind is lost forever.
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? Scopolamine, morphine, opium. My new friend's sleeping pills. With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape. No. Not now. I've got what you want.
Show me!
There. And remember, they don't come for free.
Don't you worry, you'll have your diversion. Go on now, go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away!
아이씨. 잠깐만요. 아이씨.
Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push. The door is blocked on the other side.
와, 이렇게 갈 수 있다고?
This lever must turn on the gas machine. The piping hasn't burst. Not yet, anyway. It's no use. The padlock won't give. What carnage. All the levers are activated. door is blocked on the other side.
아, 다 올렸구나 내가.
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it! What's going on? Is there somebody? I'll let Fuller know.
잘못됐네.
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it! What's going on?
Damn.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me. No!
Sanders!
뭐야?
What hell? I gotta. Oh, good. This is insane. What killed him?
방금 죽였어요.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
이게 무슨 일이 일어난지 알 수 없네요. 병관은 살아있어요. 분명 찔려 죽었는데. 이게 무슨 일이 일어났는지 모르겠네요.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
That man is toying with their... You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I found this at the Hawkins house. The doses seem insane.
Barbiturates. But these doses...
What do you mean?
Half the island is under treatment. What is prescribed here, however, is enough to knock out an ox.
Fuller wrote this prescription to fool everyone into believing she was mad.
Or perhaps her husband wrote it.
Perhaps Charles and Dr. Fuller were in league.
A conspiracy. How dreadful.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
뭐야, 기억 끊겼나 보네요.
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
병원장이구나, 이 사람이. 이 사람 사업가고.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
여기가 샌더스 자택이야?
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
오빠.
Well, look
켜지네?
who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself
켄
comfortable.
베이커?
It would
Cat
seem
Baker.
that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course.
어?
Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it.
아무거요.
I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
말재주를 높여야지.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? The Shambler. I need to see it. Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me.
녹음이구나.
Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
이게 뭐길래 이게 못 찾았네요? 이게 가운데 뭐가 들어갔는지 맞아 못 찾았지만요. 아이고 뭐야.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
I could use one of those. The public entrance to the gallery.
왜 안 되지?
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
이 그림인 것 같아요. 뭐야? 여기서부터 조심해야 돼요? 설마 환각 때문이에요? 환각에 시달리는구나.
What the hell was that?
제발! 아이씨.
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger. I can't even touch it. No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it.
와라. 아이씨. 아니 무기를 들고 싸우는 도대체 뭐로 싸워요? 아니 공격하는 방법 알아 뭐 할 거 아니야. 까불다 죽었네요.
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
야씨! 야! 도망가야 되나봐요.
What the hell was that?
달려라 달려라. 아씨 늦었어. 에이씨. 아니 어떻게 이기겠다는 거야? 단서.
What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
뭐 힌트 같은 게 있어요? 아이씨! 어떻게 싸워요? 아, 그래요? 아, 칼 들고 찌르라는 거구나.
What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
한번 해볼게요.
Damn it!
아, 씨! 야야야야야야야야야! 아이씨! 아, 너무 쫓아왔잖아.
What the hell was that?
오씨! 야이씨! 아니 쫓아오잖아요. 아 진짜.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
막기를.
Damn it! This dagger didn't work. Damn it! I have to use a specific dagger.
와 씨. 아 빙글빙글 도는 사나이요. 아니 단검을.
This dagger looks different.
제발 막기를. 마지막이다! 맞았다! 아 진짜. 야야야야. 와. 감염됐나봐요.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
이거 안 돼.
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
히로인이 많이 나오는 것 같은데 그 중에 누구 나오는지 전 잘 아직 못 봤어요.
Where's the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century. An old diary.
근데 이 가운데는 모르겠어요. 그거는 아직 못 봐가지고. 뼈. 자, 의설이 됐고요.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
근데 이게 오컬트를 읽거나 아니면은
The Book of Zion is the foundational work
저거
behind
뭐야?
Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
운명이 달라지나 봐요. 운명이 정해지나 봐요. 내가 뭐 어떤 책을 읽든 간에.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
어?
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
어?
What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the... What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
아니 번호가 뭔지 알아야 열어야 될 거 아니야.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Things are not looking good.
야 이거 어떻게 봐?
A kind of chalice. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them. Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
잠깐.
Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Arkham.
Another volume by Arkham
1번.
Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
1권, 3권, 2권, 1권,
Another volume by
3권,
Arkham
3권.
Editions. Arkham Editions.
6,
How many volumes are there?
8,
Another volume by
4,
Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions.
9,
How many volumes are there in this collection?
뭐 관련이 있는 것 같은데요? 무슨 관련이 있길래 그런 거지? 아니 뭐 알아? 내가 뭐 열든 갈 거 아니야? 아 제발 수면제들
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
응? 뭐라고?
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and other horrors seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
뭐라고? 9권?
Drake talked about a particular volume.
야, 이거 어떻게 비밀번호를 맞춰? 아.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
The Queen has little protection.
이걸 뭐 어떻게 봐야 돼?
A kind of chalice.
아니 이거 어떻게 봐야 돼?
The Queen has little protection. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
friend. I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? The Queen has little protection. Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that... What did Drake say about this collection?
So
Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
아니에요. 510 했는데 나 안 맞아. 아니 어떤 게 답이야. 야 힌트만 잔뜩 있어가지고 어떻게 풀어? 진짜 얼탱이가 없네. 5권이 안 보여. 5권이 지금 이게 하나 둘 셋 넷 다섯 여섯 일곱 여덟 맨 위에 있는데 이게 안
What did
붙어져.
Drake say about this
너 말고
collection?
맨 위에 있는데 10권이 그 5권 또 안 보여. 저 어디로 갔는지도 안 보여. 모르겠다.
The Queen has little protection.
아니 이 체스만에 무슨 의미가 있는지 모르겠어요. 아 이거 어떻게 푸냐.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
아휴. 아니 공략 좀 알려주세요. 이거 잘 모르겠어요. 아 이게 모르겠다. 아 이거 어떻게 푸는 거였더라.
Queen has little protection. The Chalice of Knowledge.
금고요. 아니 이게 금고가 좀 막혀. 금고였는 게 암호거든요. 이게 뭔가 관련이 있단 말이에요. 이게
Drake talked
이거.
about a particular volume.
이걸 열어야 되는데 이제 몰라. 몰라요. 지금 금고 때부터 많이 막혔어요.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
이렇게 보면은 그 저거 뭐야 책 찍었던 게 기억나거든요. 뭐 관련이 있는 것 같은데 이렇게 봐도 똑같고.
The Queen has little protection.
잠깐 뭐라고? 잠깐만.
The Queen has little protection.
퀸이 지키는 말이 뭐 의미 없겠군. 아 이렇게 보니까 아니 채썰마를 둔 것처럼 똑같아요. 693? 아이씨.
What did Drake say about... Drake talked about a particular volume. The Queen has little protection. So these are the volumes that... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
야, 이게 맞다고? 미치겠네. 아. 아니 이게 5번이 없는 거 확실해서 그 5번을 찍어봤거든요. 그래서 3번하고 9번이 좀 헷갈려가지고. 오가 없어요. 오가 없는 것부터 알았거든요. 이게 10권은 있는데 오가 없어. 첫 번째가. 여왕이 5번의 힌트가 될 거고. 뭐야? 그 체스말을 그 두고 봐야 돼요. 이거. 야, 이거 헷갈려 죽겠어. 지금 5번이 안 보여가지고. 어? 리버사이드 병원에 또 가버렸네? 근데 메인 히로인이 안 나타나나 했는데요? 뭐야, 캔만 계속 나와. 아니, 캔만 계속 나와. 뭐가 문제인지 모르지만.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago, We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. His skin shows abnormal
근데
loss of
계속 할
color
때마다
and seems
너무
dried
흥미가
out.
갔는데요?
He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier,
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
여기까지 하겠습니다. 재밌게 보셨다면 구독과 좋아요 눌러주시면 감사하겠습니다. 12시 넘었네요. 야, 오늘은 여기까지 하도록 하고요. 내일은 제가 야간이라서 휴방을 하겠습니다. 그러면 다음 방송 때 뵙도록 하고요. 콜 오브 쿠툴루구나. 이게 쿠툴루 저거 배경에서 만든 그 게임이라 참 대단하게 하네요. 그럼 다음 방송 때 이틀 뒤에 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 그럼 안녕히 주무시고요.